It's a big day.
On November 12th.
I cannot stand this suspense.
The wait.
All I do is wait.
Is over.
All right.
Tyler Perry's House of Payne is back.
Thank you, Lord.
He has a heart for all of his creatures.
Creatures.
With all new episodes.
I met somebody.
It looks like the Paynes are moving up.
I'd like to buy your company.
$600,000.
And out.
She left me.
You had us on the edge of our seats.
I was thinking the same thing.
Tyler Perry's House.
All right, House of Payne fans, last night we got an extended trailer, a 30-second promo. Honestly, I did not think we'd get one. I thought that 15-second one was the only one we'd get, and that came out, what, a week or two ago? But yeah, side note, during my live stream last night when I talked about the Oval, a few people said, oh, the show's coming back next Wednesday on the 5th. But the trailer repeatedly said November 12th. I guess what I can do, well, I haven't done it yet. I'll check TV Guide. I'll check at least 2 to 3 different websites that have the BET television schedules up on there. And if I see it, I'll let you know. But I do recall stating in another video that last week I looked at the schedule and it did have House of Payne episodes playing before Sisters, but they were reruns. I think that's what's causing some confusion here. But I do know that this particular trailer repeatedly said the 12th. Unless they randomly decide to change it at the last minute, like they did with the Oval, which was supposed to come back on the 4th, but then they gave it to us last night. So I'm glad we got this extended cut. It pretty much gave us things that I feel fans wanted from the first trailer. And that was Calvin, Laura, and Miranda stuff. And if we're being completely honest, those are really the only elements of the trailer that are different from the first iteration of it. You know, a big chunk of the trailer has the characters rallying around. It looks like we're about to see the election of HOA president, if Glow is still going to maintain her position, or if Mrs. I think it's a Mrs. Wellington, right? That was the woman that caught Glow at Ella's Bible study and reported her for it because it goes against HOA rules to have like religious gatherings or something like that. And then, they both went around campaigning and Glow has to try to retain her position. The issue is, the neighborhood has been shaken up in terms of a lot of new members in the community. So the Paynes have to, reintroduce themselves, and all in an attempt to make sure Glow doesn't lose her spot. So we see a few scenes from that, like Curtis going over to CJ and Janine's, and Malik and Janine are, looking at different signs and everything. And then later on, Glow is over at Curtis and Ella's house, and she's nervously looking at the TV alongside Malik and Jasmine. So the election is going to be a big deal. Now, in terms of a new plot point, we have, is it TK or whatever his name is? The smooth talking businessman who many fans, theorize he's trying to get one over on Curtis in terms of taking over the barbecue business. Or what is it? Sauce Bosses, right? Now, he's going to offer Curtis $600K to buy the company. Curtis is blown away by this, and he goes to tell CJ about it. Now, the question is, how is this going to go down? And what I mean by that is, Curtis is going to hear $600K, but is he going to do what he usually does in Curtis fashion, which is hear $600K and immediately go $600K, as in $600K for him and nothing for Floyd? Or will he rightfully just go, yeah, $300K for each of us? We'll have to wait and see. I think the conflict is going to be Curtis wanting to sell because that's a whole lot of money, and Floyd not wanting to sell because, this is their business. And not to mention, if it's worth 600K, then there's an indication that, you know what, we might be able to take it to the next level. But to be completely honest here, I think 600K will be a good cushion to fall on because of the fact that the barbecue business has been nothing but Floyd and Curtis's storyline for the past several seasons. And they've had multiple opportunities to cash in by selling the recipe, or then they go on like a Shark Tank like show, and then you had that food vlogger. There were so many chances for them to blow up. See, that's like if somebody offered, hey Jeremy, you got a pretty good sized YouTube channel. We want to pay you 500K. Now, 500K would be incredible. That would pay off my mortgage, credit cards, student loan. That would pretty much erase all my debts and have a good chunk of money to put in my bank account. But I know it's like, well, if they're paying me 500K, that's because they see potential. Essentially, they'll pay 500K because they know with my channel they can make that money back and then some. And well, to be honest, depending on the corporation that offers that kind of deal, they see the potential in your product or your company, but they have the connections and resources to take it to the next level that you might not have. So in some cases, rather than allowing a complete buyout, you might be able to renegotiate a deal where perhaps you could still hold some form of ownership or something along those lines, or work alongside them, because sometimes that's just the way it is. But I feel like they aren't going to sell simply due to the fact that if they do sell, what exactly would the writers be able to do with Floyd and Curtis at that point? So yeah, I just got to wait and see how that's going to turn out. So moving on from there, we see Ella hooty-hoo as she comes over to CJ and Janine's. Then we get to that scene where we have Ella, Janine, Jasmine, and Miranda sitting in the kitchen, and everything's kind of decked out in pink. They got food and everything. And Miranda says, so I met somebody and the girls cheer. So I wonder who this person is. And here's what I think is going to happen. Miranda reveals she has met someone. And given the fact that she was invited to the wedding, Calvin said, Laura wanted to make sure you got an invitation to our wedding. I'm willing to bet that invitation is a +1. Miranda's going to invite this dude to the wedding, and then Calvin's going to feel some kind of way, and then that's possibly going to lead to the wedding not happening. That's my theory. So, we also get a scene of Ella, Curtis, and Calvin coming into the house. They're all dressed up like they came from some big event. I don't know what this could be. Could it be like the rehearsal for the wedding? A church event? I have no idea. CJ armed around Malik going, all right. I don't know what that's about, but he's in uniform, so he must be getting off of work or something. It could be, I don't know. And then we get to the last thing. Even Curtis is like, yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat. And now Calvin is over at his parents' house. And he's like, she left me. And we cut back to the penthouse or condo. And Calvin has a very colorful sweater on. It really gave me Crayola vibes. That's not an insult. It's just the colors just caught my attention. And Laura is strutting through the condo with a box and her purse on her arm, indicating that she's gone. Now, this is like the 8th time she's allegedly left. But folks, I have no doubt in my mind she will be back. Now, why is she leaving? Is it because her and Calvin's family had another falling out? Or could this be in relation to that one scene where Calvin and Miranda, look up like, they got caught doing something? I'm guessing that's what it is. So that's pretty much it for House of Payne. The extended trailer is here. And I'm pretty sure now that with the trailer out within the next several days, if not, I'd say before this time next week, we should be getting episode synopsis. So feel free, if you see it on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever source, feel free to send them my way. Like I always say, if you go down to that description box right beneath this video, there are links to all my social media, and you know the drill. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.